Let's cultivate the return of Ursol Paladin into Standard Hearthstone with a brand new combo between this card right here, Cultivating Sprite. If you don't know what this card does, is it gives you a 3-cost bulb that casts 3 random 1-cost spells that upgrades each turn. Which means if you have this early enough in the game, you can combo this with Ursol, hopefully on either 7 or 9 being the best 2 possible pools, to overwhelm your opponent with a bunch of 7/9 cost spells that either will swarm the board or nuke your opponent's board. It is also worth mentioning you can then slam down Dios on the following turn to make it trigger 6 spells instead of 3. Now for the Mulligan guide, first thing to watch out for is going to be Sprite, so you can get that combo online pretty quickly. Then you'll be looking for Treasure Guild to hopefully get into your Acceleration Aura. Twilight Egg and Righteous Protector are pretty good to keep. And finally, any type of AoE tools are good too. Now with all being said, let's look at something. Probably Egg, I would assume. Let's get rid of Maul and keep the other two. Because this hand, Mulligan away, instantly get it. Why not, right? I mean, that top deck was really nice, but...
Won't be long now.
Slamming down the hammer. The reason why we're slamming down the hammer is so we can set it up for later. Okay. Okay, so it is egged. Okay, that makes sense. I have some... Okay, I know we just uploaded Warlock. And hey, there's Ursol, so we're one step closer for combo. We just gotta survive until late. But, like... I have so much control. I made a Warlock list that is literally... I'm calling it everything Warlock because it has basically every idea you could jam-pack into one Warlock deck. Is it great? No. I don't know. Maybe it'll end up on the channel. I haven't really decided. Yeah, I don't want to get another bulb right now because I want to have the bulb in the hand so I can slam it down on the same turn as Ursol. The idea.
Buying or selling.
Okay. Okay, we can nuke the board. I mean, it does hit the egg, but that's okay. Hurts, but... Oh, and it doesn't... End of turn effects are always funny because I think at one point they made it where they don't do it in order of the cards being played, but then they reverted that change, I think, at some point. And now it depends on the order of the cards being played in. Which, honestly, I like that better because it makes it a little bit more consistent and you don't have to rely on RNG to win a game, you know? But... I don't know. Let me know, like, if you've run into that enough where you would love for it to be a random order instead. I guess End of Turn Paladin would be a good example of, like, why maybe it should be random. So you don't always get Nurstalmu, like, off, like, after you summon from one of your other auras. But, I don't know.
This place well.
I think we can get away with just waiting on our turn. Oh, that's actually very nice. Very nice indeed. Okay, Giblin's kind of funny, but we're not going to do Giblin. Next turn, we'll do the Ursol combo, followed by the Dios. Now, the problem we might run into is we might accidentally break the eggs. That might accidentally cause us to lose the game. However, if it doesn't, this is going to be funny. Give me something cool. Finish off our opponent with Moonwell, Moonwell, Moonwell. Draw a minion, okay. Taunt wall is pretty nice. That backfired? Wait, that's a fun little interaction. Oh, you gotta be joking me. Sure, why not? Okay, well, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Oh, selling.
Yes, pass it back. I mean, whatever you gotta do to, like, stay alive, right?
With my blessing. To battle. Pass into time.
We're going to pop the turtle. We're gonna slam down Dios. Slam down our hammer. Go face. They're up to full. Come on, just give me something cool. Something good. Sure. I'll take to draw 2. Don't know what those minions were going to be. I will. Yeah? Deep freeze their face. Roam free. Doesn't really matter because we have no board space. Enjoy dealing with this, I guess. I mean, that does deal with the board. Does it deal with the board twice? No. That does, though. Wait. Dios did survive, which is actually kind of all we really needed. We could do Giblin, but I think... Man, I don't like dropping myself this low. But I think this is the play. Because it'll get them down. Gets rid of everything. Feels so nice, that combo. Come on. Hit face with a spell. I don't care what the spell is. Just give me something that hits face. Actually, you know what? That does work. Taunt, sure. Nah, I wish they had minions, but that's okay. Okay. They don't have tentacles. We should be fine. I don't know what they'd have to do here to hit or 4 damage to face. I think we're okay. If we were at 3, I'd be worried, but we're okay.
I am the end of all things. I am the Cataclysm.
Need to do enough damage here. I think we have it. All we gotta do is get all this from the deck. Go face for that. And I think that's game. I wouldn't say it's because of the 4 cards. I would say, honestly, it's just I'm looking for a certain replay, so I'm playing like an idiot. That you'll notice this if you stick around for long enough. I do have a tendency to play very dumb, just because I'm after a replay. Because in my head, I'm like, I just need the replay, right? I don't really care about winning a bunch. Because that's the truth, right? It's also a curse. Because I am good at farming clips. But, when I'm ladder climbing for the beginning of a month, my brain only has one mode. And my brain still tries to farm for clips even when I'm playing like a meta deck to climb ladder. Which I tend to do off stream just because I get it out of the way and then I can just focus on being goofy. I like more goofy decks than I enjoy playing something meta. Honestly speaking, I think if I just use the sprites defensively when they're at like 6 mana instead of trying to do the wombo combo, I think we probably are in a better position a lot of the cases. But it definitely is a case of Bond being like, I gotta get this. Like, I can slam down this here. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. That was a really cool, like, a little interaction that people... Well, someone suggested it to Clark? I say that, and they might be in chat, actually, right now. Can't remember who suggested it to Clark. Someone was like, this is my magnum opus. And then he looked at it, and he's like, holy shit, this looks so fun. I love seeing Clark do that, though. Like, when someone suggests a deck and it's straight up his alley, even if he, like, loves to try to be as competitive as possible, his brain just, like, swaps modes. That's why, like, out of all the Hearthstone streamers, he's probably the one that I catch the most, besides, I guess, my own streams, you know? I try to minimize the chances of me accidentally taking someone's deck. Is the actual truth about the matter. Sure. This is such a waste if I do this, though. I think we have to. We'll be at 5 mana next turn, so probably Chronological Aura. I am happy to report, though, we haven't dropped any frames since I changed the bitrate, so... Maybe that's what I have to do if I want to go longer, or, like, later on to the night. Ooh. We'll be at 5 mana, but we can get up to 6. Which means we can do this. I was like, I don't know how we win this game, but... Yeah. That is... And the only things that we are really adding high cost is Ursol and Chronolord. I think Ursol also isn't like super flexible. I know some people probably have experimented with trying this idea in maybe Imbue because you're using Renewing Flame still, but with the how the current meta is, you have to minimize high cost cards in your deck, and that feels awful sometimes. There's Bulwark. Because the meta is so quick right now that greedy decks are a little bit harder to use. This also isn't the greediest deck that I've ever come up with either. I've done some really greedy decks, especially in Survivor. Survivor has its uses, but I also kind of agree with him. As I had a brainstorm, whatever you want to call it, right there. That is like, that would probably work pretty well. Really kind of want to use this just to get it out of my hand. But you never know. If I use it now, I'm going to grab Ursol off the top deck. Knowing my luck. There's a Chromatis list that you gave me an idea for. The Chromatis list is you're using Searing Reflection, and then you're using basically Survivor and Chromatis as like your only cards or only minions, and then you shovel Chromatis back into the deck whenever you draw with it, or draw into it with Searing, and then you just get Chromatis turn after turn. Probably not great, but it would be kind of funny to see if you could high roll a deck like that. Okay, so no matter what, well, not no matter what, but like, sides here, we can get rid of the entire board. If we talk deck Ursol right now, though, I don't think it would work. I think it would be very questionable. Okay, I'm going to cast this first. I had a sneaking suspicion that's what would happen. No. That not do what I needed to do. Yeah, I don't think it would work so well. I haven't tried a Searing Reflection deck in a while. I was going to do something with Searing Reflection and Noggin Foggin, but I ended up just not doing that version of the list. I think the problem I ran into is I don't think Paladin has any ways directly to draw into a minion from your deck, if I remember right. You know what's the funny thing? We might actually have still won. Like, if they can't get to my face, we won. Wait, did we win? Hold. Shit. Okay, actually, you know what? We should have not won this game. Hold on. I don't know how we won this game, but we won this game. Hold. Now that we're through the games, did this deck truly return Ursol Paladin back to the meta of Standard Hearthstone? Nah, not really. The deck does function, however, most of the time you're probably going to want to use the sprites as a defensive tool instead of a combo with Ursol, which makes him a little bit redundant in this list. Sprite is actually pretty good of a card to act as a way to generate additional ways to deal with your opponent's board or end of turn paladin, but overall, generally speaking, this combo is a bit greedy currently in the meta. Most of the time, you're probably going to win through the stereotypical end of turn paladin shenanigans, but when you can pull out the combo, it is really fun. Before we end the video, special thanks to our channel members of Daniel Nascimento and Ruben. If you want to help out the channel a little bit more, join one of the 3 membership tiers. There's always leaving a like, commenting, subscribing, turning on notifications, using the hype button to help out the channel too if you can't afford the memberships. Until next time, bye-bye.